Okay, so tell me again, how long has it been since you've had a website?
Well, I've got a landing page with my contact details, but it's actually been all off. No information, no photos since COVID.
If it makes you feel any better, I saw a post from Andrew Reid a couple of days ago, and he's like one of the biggest in the world now for over 40s fitness. And I think his website was pretty much inactive for about a year or so, from what I can tell. And he's only just relaunched his as well.
I've been busy sort of hiding and being happy with the clients that I have. I'm like, do I have energy for new people? I have energy for new people now.
Do you think that was a COVID thing?
So yes, hence my photo shoot. I'm like, I can't use 12-year-old photos.
Why not? Really? You're not allowed to do that? Are you saying the public expects you to be up to date and relevant and actually look the way you look now?
Probably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what mostly kind of work are you doing now with clients? Well, so is it out at your place, or do you travel? How does it work now?
So since COVID, I didn't go back to being at the gym, but I've had clients who had setups at home. So when things were sort of in and out of lockdown, I started training people who had equipment, and a couple of people had sort of equipment and trained. But I struggle for some clients, and then I've got some local clients that I train at home, and then I've got clients that I train online. So really, I've been in the fitness industry a long time. It's not sustainable to just be busy. But I'd have a lot more capacity to do things online and just have, a little bit of freedom to, do my training and go away for the weekend and still be able to serve my
clients. What sort of clients are you generally training now?
It's funny, like they're all older, but that's because I'm older. So I mean, I just brought them along with me. I had one client, I was working it out last week. We started training in 2006.
Oh wow, that's the kind of retention you're looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, and he and I train his wife now. We train at their house, but like apart from overseas holidays or worldwide pandemics, he's trained every Tuesday morning at 8:00 since 2006.
Wow. Have you ever done the maths on that and worked out what he's bought you in your time together?
No. I don't want to let him know. It's invaluable.
Yeah.
I've got are invaluable.
There's a couple of people that I've trained to close to 20 years now, and I like to tell them that they've paid for my overseas trips. That you go over our time together, you've paid for me to go to Sweden or something like that. It's really cool. Personally, I like it. I don't want to make it sound like it's just about money, but it's kind of cool developing that relationship over a very long time with an athlete or a client and seeing the contribution they've made to your life as well.
Yeah. So, like most of my clients, I don't have any clients under 40, but my oldest client's 78. And she's been training for about 18 years with me as well. So
wow,
we're all just traveling through life together. So,
that's really cool. Well, do you want to plug your website then?
Well, it's not.
It's not. So I think my viewership is up to like 7 people now. So you could have 7 new followers on Instagram or Facebook.
Well, one of them's me, so that will only be. And one of them's
so there's only 6. Yeah, so there's only really 5 people listening, so it's growth. It's gone up from 3.
I'm hoping to grow my Instagram following. It's a love page. I'm actually posting things on Instagram now. It's amazing.
I've noticed.
But that's taken a lot to. It's like, I hate it. But it's like, it's sort of necessary in a way.
Is that Strength for You? Is that your page?
Yeah.
So at Strength for You, if you're over 40, no one under 40, please. Just no young followers.
No.
So what's the struggle with Instagram for you?
It just it's different because you can use it with your own power. So to me, everything just seems so fake and curated. Because I'm like, well, you don't have to play that game. There's lots of people who are more authentic and just sharing positivity, which is sort of what I want to do. But yeah, I don't like that idea that everything's perfect because life's not perfect.
Far from it.
But then also, I don't know if it's an Australian thing, but that ickiness around self-promotion. It's sort of like it's showing off, or it's like, who do you think you are? It's just,
tall poppy syndrome.
Well, not necessarily, because I don't feel that I'm the greatest and the best, but just that self-promotion and, hey, look at me, I'm so smart, look what I do. It's just like, if people find out about me through word of mouth and someone's happy, then I'm like all for it. Just like, woohoo, I'm the greatest, I'm the best.
It kind of speaks to that. I'll throw the second question that I normally ask at you then. Do you want to be famous?
I've been thinking about a few of the questions, and when I was younger, I would have said yes. But it would be nice to be known for something, but to actually have fame, I wouldn't like it. And I was thinking about, it's like, would I, wouldn't I? Years and years ago, I was at a wedding, and it was my partner's long-term client, lovely, lovely guy, and the wedding was in rural Victoria. And my partner had gone off to talk to some people, and I was just standing there on my own. It was outdoors, close, and there was an older gentleman, sort of seemed a bit shy, and he was standing alone too. So I'm like, both of us have no mates. I'll just go and, strike up a conversation because it's awkward. And so we're having a really great conversation, and he was just a nice man and asking questions about what I did and everything. And it worked out that he was the neighbour next door. So the hosts that had the wedding had bought the house from him, and he lived next door on the property. And he'd done all of this revegetation work, and it was, so we were talking about that. He was talking about the wildlife coming back because it had been just pasture. And it was really interesting. And then my partner came and we kept talking. And then people they kept interrupting, and they just, interrupt the conversation. And they just be gushing over him, just gushing. Oh, thank you for the work that you've done. You've made such a difference, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I'm like, who in the hell is this guy? And I noticed on his suit lapel, he had the little pin, the Order of Australia pin. And I'm like, oh, he's done something because he's got the pin. But
okay, he's important.
He's important, but I have got no clue who he is. And it turned out he was, it was Paul Jennings, the children's author.
The author? Wow. Okay.
Because, and my brother had his books, but because I'm a little bit older, like just his books weren't on my radar. I had no idea who he was. And people were just so gushing and he was so uncomfortable. And he ended up being seated at his table, which worked out well because I'm like, he's, having great conversations and he doesn't know anyone really. Anyway, but you could just tell he was so uncomfortable. And he, to my delight, he did the sneaky getaway. Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom, and he never came back.
Oh, there you go.
Sort of before dessert, he just disappeared. So he just ghosted. He'd shown up, and that's the first time I'd really noticed someone doing that. And I started doing that after I did have work Christmas parties or something, and I'm just going to the bathroom. I'm doing the Paul Jennings.
I think ghosting is one of the most fun things you can do when you're out. And just so that way the next time people see you go, when exactly did you leave? Like, we noticed at around 12 you weren't there anymore. And go, oh, I left at 10:30. I was long gone.
So I think fame, I'll pass.
So we're gonna. I think fame, perhaps, if we define it, because I've been struggling to work out what fame really is. I think fame is when somebody points out who you are, but you would have no idea of working out who they are. Does that you kind of go with that one? Like, if you're walking down the street, someone points out, goes, oh, look, that's Rikki Flanders. And then if you could look back at them and work out your connection to them, then that's just notoriety. That's like being well known for something. But if you've got no idea who they are and there's no way you could ever work out why they know who you are, then that's fame.
Yeah. I just wouldn't care. It's like, well, if I don't know the person,
yeah, right.
It's sort of none of my business what they think of me, but it's like, what does it matter?
I got to a point with powerlifting in this country and a little bit in the US where I had multiple people tell me who I was, which was always funny. But we could work out what the connection was. Like, they were powerlifters. That's why they knew who I was. It wasn't because I was famous or anything. But it was always really funny when someone walks up and goes, hey, you're Nathan Baxter. And it's like, I know. Who are you? So that's a big note of fame, which then kind of brings us back around to Instagram, because Instagram kind of is about being famous, because we're putting out content to people that we don't really have a connection to. It's just out there. And then we hope people find us. So is that a kind of fame, do you think?
It's sort of just, for me, it's just a tool for attracting the right people towards you. So, with my non-posting, no one's attracted to. I'm not on the algorithm. It's like non-existent.
Is there an algorithm for finding people that don't post? I'd like that one.
But yeah, just, I guess, attracting the right vibe. People might find you interesting, or you might be helpful to them, even if it's just entertaining.
So in this period, in this season that you're in now, what kind of vibe are you trying to attract?
Real people with like realistic expectations of their fitness. Not people who see that, like, it's not too late to start something. If they've never trained before, there's no time limit. Like, any time's a good time. Now's a good time. But just as you get older, you're not going to lose relevance. Like, you can still do cool things. You can still improve. And I'd actually say that probably a natural progression that you do improve, because you know yourself, you know what you want, you sort of have filtered out all of the bullshit, And yeah, those kind of people.
Well, how
People
about after this is done, I'm gonna clip that for you. I'll put it on Instagram, and then you can send that out to. Hopefully, that'll attract the people that you want to attract. Yeah, my one that, like, I still realize I'm trying to attract weird people, and so every time I attract a weird person, I'm not sure if I really attracted them or they're just being weird. In which case, it doesn't really matter. We still get on great.
It's working.
It works. all the weird people are coming in. Yeah, that Instagram thing, like, I get stuck on there a lot. It's like I go through periods of putting a lot of effort in and trying to, I guess, tell my story as an athlete and as a coach and as a scientist or whatever you want to call it these days. But then I quickly fall into the trap of wanting to produce something for someone else. And every time I do that, things start going south quickly. When I'm just trying to do my stuff and trying to not care too much about being seen or being relevant or being on message, they tend to be the best videos or the best content that comes out. So then the idea of being able to curate that and cultivate the randomness is, I think, is a really awkward proposition, because that's what we're talking about in terms of being authentic, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I feel like if people hear about you, it's almost like Instagram and much less a website these days. But if you're the real deal, you're going to have a platform, and people need to be able to, even though it's all fake, actually find you and see that you're real. So it gives, it's like, okay, Nathan Baxter guy, yep, I can see he's on Instagram, I can see he's got links to other things. He actually exists, he's the real deal. Like that, so it's good in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to come around to the point of seeing it as a potential creative outlet. So it's like, well, you can put anything you want, really, and try and be creative and make it a little bit fun. And, I might be more engaged with doing it that way. But it's like, it started, photos. Okay, I can do photos. Now it's all about the videos. It's like, now I can't do the videos. Now people have a short retention span. It can't be a long video. It's got to be a little tiny video. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think that's the TikTok thing, isn't it? The videos getting shorter and shorter. And if anything, this year I've learned that the longer videos are far more satisfying to make. And then these long form podcasts are way more interesting for people our age. Once you get, I think 40 plus or even 35 plus now, it's all got to be long form. I think we're reacting against the TikTok generation by wanting to do things that are longer and slower.
But I love listening to your podcast, because I listen in the car, and it's like a little break. So no one's selling anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, the goal isn't to learn something. It's almost like you're at a cafe and you're just listening in on someone's conversation. And it's like, oh, I wouldn't have thought about things that way. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
that's quite relaxing, just driving. It's like, yeah, cool.
That's great feedback. I appreciate that, because that's what I'm trying to do is just capture some of these conversations that I've had with people over the years, because I've learned so much. Like, obviously I've got a couple of degrees. I do a lot of formal study. I'm really into that. And generally I read nonfiction and I listen to podcasts that teach me things. And I found in my life that there just wasn't enough storytelling or conversation anymore. And I realized how much I miss just listening to people's stories and learning that way. So I figured, what better way than to just hit up people that I've met through powerlifting or other silly adventures over the years and just have a chat. Because then I think you end up learning stuff all the time, but it's more about perspective, isn't it? Like just
Yeah,
learning a different way to look at a really easy question, like who would you invite for dinner?
yeah. Is that our question?
It can be if you want. I'm more interested to know, do you rehearse your phone calls?
Oh. Sometimes, but not
Yes.
so not so much now. More
Mm-hmm.
because I've had to make like phone calls for work when I've been working at different places. Oh, I had this terrible, terrible task that I did when I started. I was new at the fitness
Mm-hmm.
centre, and I was all positive, fresh blood, woohoo, and I got given the task of every week I had to ring up the people who wanted to cancel their memberships. And so I was, they just aired all of their grievances to me, and I was meant to somehow turn them around. But
Oh
I was
my
new, so they
God.
were telling me all the things that were wrong, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I don't blame you. Like,
I'm just going, yeah, I'd get out too. Like, can I come with you?
it just made me, it was bad. So I'd have to really psych up for that. I'm like, okay, you can, stay positive, just be
Oh,
you.
wow.
But I'd sort of have to rehearse, if they were, most people were really nice. And I think the management had worked out it was best that I made the calls because the clients had never met me. So they
Mm-hmm.
could have a little, oh, she's new, we better, we won't let her have it. Whereas if it was someone who they'd complained to before, they're like, you're hopeless, you haven't done anything since my last complaint.
I've
So
told you 10 times
generally,
already.
yeah, so generally
Wow.
people were pretty kind, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they just lose it. And I'm like, okay, we'll organise that cancellation. Thank you.
Oh, wow. I that just reminded me. I'd completely forgotten that I worked for a time at a call center, like telemarketing. Um,
Oh,
it was straight out of high school, so I was 17 or 18, and what was that? So that was like early to mid 90s, and there was just no jobs around. So I did so many crappy jobs through that period while I was at uni just to keep money coming in. I think I did one night only. I went there, I did my shift, they gave me a few bucks, and I never came back again because they actually give you a script to read, and they give you all of these responses that you're meant to give to common concerns. I don't remember what I was selling. It was probably rubbish, and I was I was just one of these guys ringing people at around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night to try and sell them some crap. And so I just used to get abused all the time. So maybe my rehearsal comes from that.
yeah, it's just demoralising. Those
Right.
cold calls. Yeah, it's just,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So listen, what I thought, uh let's skip a few questions. Let's go up to number 11, which is my favorite, and I don't get to ask it nearly enough. Your 4-minute life story.
So I was born in 1970. Beloved
Sold.
childhood, Roz and Ian. This was the beginning. I brought them together. 11 months later, my sister arrived. We're almost like twins growing up.
Oh, really?
So
What was that? What was that like having someone so close in age?
it was, it felt like we were twins because we used to dress
Yeah.
the same. And Sam was actually, we were the same height. We were sort of the same size and everything. Um,
Hmm.
it was really funny. Like when I look back, it's, it's almost like my mum and dad didn't exist. It was sort of Sam and I because, we were always together,
Mm.
1970, 71, 80s. You, kids just did their own thing. So we were sort of left to, it's not like we had a lot of supervision or like supervised play. We just did our thing. So yeah, it was sort of us, Rikki and Sam.
Were you in the same year at school or 1 year apart?
No, separate. So Sam.
Separate years. Okay.
And that was really weird because when I went to school, my mum was pregnant with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of didn't get why I had to leave. Why did I have to go to school? And Sam got to stay home. And then my brother was born. It's like, hey, like I'm being sent off on my own. It was really weird. Then the next year, Sam was at school too.
And then Sam, that would be weird. I've never thought about that before, how weird it is for a kid to be going to school. Because for their whole life, they just hang out with either mum or dad or whoever's the primary carer and maybe a couple of siblings. And then one day you get told to put on this new costume and just stay away from you for 6 hours.
Yeah. And I hadn't gone to kinder. When I was about 3, we actually moved to Canada for a few years.
And, oh, really? We're in Canada?
Yeah. So in the cold middle in South Porcupine. So which is...
it sounded like you said South Porcupine.
Yeah. So it's part of Timmins in Ontario. So it's actually where Shania Twain is from.
Oh, really? Okay.
But basically mining town, like all about mining.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
How did you come to be there? What was the purpose of that trip?
Well, my dad had always wanted to travel, but in the early 70s, there was a lot of unemployment, and it was just an opportunity. He was a draftsman and a mechanical draftsman, and he ended up his life. He specialised in mining. So, it was just opportunity and, it was off we went.
Wow. So, how old were you?
Yeah, I must have just been 3. So 3.5. And then, we're there for a few years until my mum fell pregnant with my brother. Mm-hmm. And then she just put her foot down. She wanted to be back home with her family to have that. So we came back.
So you come back to Australia and you start school. And where was home?
So that was in Coburg, in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was there at Moreland Primary School for 1 year. And then my parents bought a house in Pascoe South, and we moved, and then I was in grade 1. So, and that house we lived in for years and years. And we moved to Perth for a little while as well. And that was through...
No. Have you told me that before?
I thought you knew that. No. Yeah, it must have been, I reckon, 1980. We moved to Perth.
Do you remember where you lived in Perth?
Yeah. 8 Talbot Street, Marmion.
In Marmion. Oh, that's, really nice area.
So I went to Marmion Primary School, which was across the road. So our street backed on to the school, and there was just like a big strip of bushland across the road, and we'd walk through the little bush track, and it would lead on to the oval and the little athletics area of the school, and we'd just walk through there to get to school.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Wow, I never knew that. Yeah, you've just blown my mind. I never realised you lived in Perth. You probably told me, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really funny. I just remember how much freedom I had growing up. We just go off on our own. It's like weird thinking about kids now. Like we just ride our bikes to the beach after school. Like we'd be at the surf beach, just going for a swim. No lifesavers, nothing. Just in our little kids gang. If something went wrong, someone would have helped out, but off to the beach, off riding to my friends, just be back at a certain time.
It is, you're right, it is amazing to think about that now in terms of the way kids behave now, or the way we parent now. Even like I know I'm probably more towards the permissive end of trying to make my kids go out and do stuff early and be independent. Mostly because I grew up the way you did. I was free range. You could go anywhere I wanted, and you didn't really have to report back. As long as we were back before the sunset, everything was good.
Yeah. And I mean, we were never, apart from me riding to my friends, like we were never alone. There was always one or two other kids with you. So I think that was, your parents sort of didn't mind. Someone would know what happened to you. Good or bad. Oh, yeah, we saw her. Yeah, someone dragged her into that van, and it would be a witness.
So I think this was something I saw it was a caption on Instagram maybe the other day, that through looking back on my childhood, there was much less free candy than what I was told there was going to be. I thought somebody would try to put me in a car or take me away, or there would be a dangerous stranger at some point in my life, and it never happened. I thought that was going to be a much bigger thing in my life.
Yeah, same.
But it turned out we were all pretty safe. Nobody got terribly hurt. I'm thinking I had some major accidents on my bike, like requiring stitches and stuff like that, and having to walk for half an hour or more to get home so my mum could take me to the doctor. But along the route home, at least 5 or 6 other parents, and I don't think I knew any of the parents. They'll just go, "Are you okay?" And I think that's the big difference between then and now, is that back in those days, I think most adults were quite happy intervening with a young person that they didn't know, and we didn't think it was weird.
I actually had a little bike accident as an adult, but when I was in high school. So we moved back to Melbourne when I started high school, but I think I was in year 11, and I was, it was summer, and after dinner I'd gone off to ride my bike just for exercise and training. And I actually got bitten by a German Shepherd when I was on my bike.
Oh, tell us that story, because in my head it's like Looney Tunes at the moment. It was probably terrifying and traumatic, and I'm making a joke about it because I don't know. I think it sounds like a cartoon right now.
Well, there's a bike track along the Moonee Ponds Creek. It's been regenerated now, but part of the creek, more like a big with the bike on the side, and I travel up sort of quite a way, and I was a fair way from home. And it was all parkland, and there's people walking, other people riding their bikes, people walking their dogs, and this German Shepherd was off lead, and it sort of was running towards me, and I'm like, interesting. Like, I don't want it to chase me, so I slowed down, and I was it was really like not happy with me. And what year was it? It must have been 1987. So I had my little Walkman with my cassette recorder Walkman.
Oh my goodness!
My earphones in. It was so cool. And
were you wearing Hypercolor at the same time?
I can't remember what I was wearing. Possibly.
Anyway, there was something fluorescent somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I slowed down, and I'm like, I think I'm going to get off the bike. And my plan was to put the bike in between me and the dog. But as I went to sort of fling my leg over the bike, the dog just grabbed me on the calf. So I ended up with this dog tooth puncture wound in my calf. And I was just, I turned my little cassette recorder off. I think I was listening to James Rain, and And as soon as I got off the bike and turned the tape recorder, the dog was like the friendliest thing. It just completely changed from psycho guard dog wanting to kill me to this placid, controlled, like happy, give me a pat, like, yeah.
Wow.
And it was a kid who was walking the dog, and he was, he might have been 14 or something. So he just, was scared that this had happened. And I was traumatized. And it's like, what do you do, I ended up trying to ride my bike home, and I'm like, you should have your dog on a lead. It's dangerous. And he's like, oh, got the lead and probably running home to hide. And I just remembered I couldn't ride my bike because my leg kept cramping, and I was just traumatized. So I'd sort of walked half ridden home, and no one really stopped to help me. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, when I got home, holding it all together to get home, and, mum, dad, brother, sister are watching TV, and I came into the lounge room and I just burst into tears. And they're like, oh no, like, what's happened? And, I was okay, I'd been bitten by a dog. But they thought I'd been raped or something like horrific had happened, was their first reaction. Like, this is I came down, off to the doctor, off to get my tetanus shot, and that was that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And so that was near the end of high school. So we've got through Canada, Perth, dog bites. What did you do coming out of high school?
During high school, it's like at high school, like I had a good group of friends. We weren't cool, but we weren't the nerds. We're sort of a in between. So
isn't it funny how it's funny how those groups have never really changed over the years, and we still identify with those groups. We've gone, I wasn't one of the cool kids. Like, you knew who they were. It was really obvious. And I'm still not one. I'm like, we've probably got rid of those groups now, but
we sort of look back. I'm like, I should, could have been a bit more compassionate towards the really different kids, the kids with, looking back. Obviously, there were some kids that were autistic and or had, some learning issues. But there's no room for that at high school. It's so busy trying to survive and not being the target. So, you sort of, I look back, I'm like, I could have, it's not that I was horrible, but it's like I could have been nicer. I feel terrible, but it's like if you do that, it's like a sign of weakness when you're a teenager. And you're just trying to survive.
It's bizarre high school, isn't it? It really is. Like, yeah. Fortunately, Gabrielle is almost at the end of high school. Bronte's got through it now. She's done and dusted with it. Gabrielle's got 2 years left. And I'll be really happy once they're both through, because I think the way we continue with high school in this era is just absurd. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. And
like,
once you're out of it, it's like, who cares? Like, that is such an insignificant part of your life.
What do you wish you knew back in high school that you know now that would have made high school easier?
I'd go back and tell myself, you just do what you want to do. Don't worry about going along with the popular choice, or don't try and just be cool. Just like, there's things now, like to learn an instrument, to have continued to learn a language. It's like, what an opportunity wasted. Never too late. You can always go back, but it's like you wanted to do something, but your friends weren't doing it, so you didn't. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. So that would be it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. I wish all through high school I had more resolve to be more me.
Yeah.
And when it come to say that out loud, that's 20s and 30s and 40s as well. That I think we're always going down that path, aren't we? To be more authentic, to allow people to see the weird, the awkward, the things that we think are a little bit off, I guess, or the
Yeah.
things that we really like about ourselves that we're not sure other people are going to like about us. So,
But even that, just to be different and strive for something more. Like I remember once, I was in year 11 in biology, and in the class, like I went to a pretty good public school. Like it's not like we're all out of control. It was a good school. But one day, like I was the only one who had done my homework. So, go back to class, okay, the homework, yada, yada. And no one else had done it. And I'd done it, and I'd done it really well. But then that made me stand out a little bit. And it was almost like, oh, that's like a dangerous place to be out there on my own. Whereas it should be like, no, like, of course
that's
you did your
interesting.
homework. Like you liked it. You liked the
Yeah.
subject. Why wouldn't
Do you
you?
remember what subject was it again? Human biology.
It was
Did you say?
biology.
Biology.
Yeah. So our school, like, late 80s, it was all about science, technology. So like I studied chemistry, biology, physics, math, all of.
When you were doing those subjects, what was your ambition? Where did you want to go?
I had no idea.
Right.
It was just I was good at it. I think I was like my brain just liked that scientific way of doing things. It was sort of orderly. It made sense. You could just learn rules, and if you knew the rules in math, then you could do physics. It was the same. So,
Yep.
and then, really at school, if you're showing talent in one area, they just push that. It's not about what you might want to do or what interests you might have. It's like that's where you're going.
Right.
And it was really promoted. I don't actually think there's much room at school for kids that didn't do those subjects. I don't know.
So where did those subjects take you? Did you go to uni, or what did you study? What did you do after high school?
I went to La Trobe Uni for half a year.
Okay.
And then I deferred. And then I tried to go back the next year, and I went for another half year.
Did you then defer, and are you on a long-term deferment right now?
No. No, I did not go back. It was not the best.
What was the subject?
I studied physical sciences. So it was math, physics, biology, and chemistry. And that's pretty full on.
Wow, that's that is a massive degree. Gee, just a physics degree by itself is a massive degree. Combining all of those, I don't know what they were thinking.
And and because I had really I didn't have a why. I got into the course, and it's like, okay, I got in, like that's what I'm doing. But it's like, well, why am I here? And just the workload to do all of those subjects. You have all of the practical sessions, then you have all of your tutorials and all of the lectures. It's like having a full-time job and then study on top. And it was like I was way over my head.
Yeah, right.
Way over my head. And no real, like, I couldn't see why I was doing it. It's like, where am I going to be at the end of this? It was just like, okay, well, it's just study. That's what's expected. you don't know what else you'd be doing, so you better just keep doing this, just keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't work, obviously.
How did you deal with not being after you went back the second time and then left? How did you deal with not studying and having to, I guess, jump into the adult world?
Well, before I told my parents, I'm like, right, I'm like, I better get a job. Better get a
Smart.
job so that, you know, you won't think I'm freeloading. I have to have something to do. I have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to, yeah, I have to be useful in a way.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I got my first job
Mm-hmm.
at a pub, like a local pub. And I just went in and I'm like, I've got no experience. I've never had a job before. I'd like to work here. It's like, whoa. And I did a few training shifts, and
Mm-hmm.
then they hired me. So I'm like, I've got a job. I'll pay board.
Oh, wow. So how old were you? The Dex, you about 19, 20, is that right?
Yeah, 19.
So the bit that I'm interested then is, how do you go from 19 working in a pub to then, when I met you, you had been powerlifting for a number of years by that stage?
Yeah. So like hospitality, it was easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like naturally, or I was naturally shy. I was very, very shy growing up. When I was really little, my sister actually used to talk for me, you know, go to order our lunch, you know, on a Friday, and I could not order my lunch for myself. She would have to do it for me.
Wow.
So I've gone from that to, you know, obviously being pushed out of my comfort zone before.
You're very big push out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. But then to work in hospitality, it was sort of felt comfortable because I had an excuse to talk to people, the reason to talk. I wasn't,
Yep.
you know, and I had that barrier. I was behind the bar. So there was that, you know, protected zone where I had my own safety. I could be busy and not talk to people, or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
communicate as much as I wanted. And I just found it easy, and, you know, it was a no-brainer. But just dealing with different people, and it was just quite easy for me, and I quite liked it. But I wasn't using my brain at all in its usual way. And then so I worked in hospitality for years, and then I'd had sort of enough of that environment. Back then it was all, you know, smoking. Everyone was a smoky environment, you know.
Oh, God, I keep forgetting that we used to smoke in pubs. Like,
Yeah.
that was where people went to smoke. Like, it was just, that was it.
And I'd
Ashtrays
never
everywhere. And
smoked. So it's like gross. You just stink.
yeah.
And anyway, where I was working, they were opening up like the TAB, so the gambling section of the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and I got trained to work in the TAB. So then it was a combination of beer, cigarette smoke, and gambling.
Wow, you're
And
starting to combine your
wow, like
addictions. That's great.
it's really me.
All my favorite things.
No. One favourite thing was I didn't start work until 11 o'clock in the morning. So I had lots of time to go to the gym beforehand. So there was
Uh-huh.
a positive.
There you
Even though I
go.
worked in that environment, it wasn't my lifestyle. So,
Yeah.
and then I ended up going for a job just in a standalone TAB. So there was no drinking and smoking. It was just a TAB, but it was still, I was good at it. I was good at, I was good at maths. I was good at dealing with money. I was
Mm-hmm.
very quick in my reactions. and I loved my boss. She was amazing. But it's like, what am I doing here? Like, this does not fit at all in with my values. Like, working in that environment, I found I started to really hate people. I thought everyone's leading a double life. I worked in the city, so there'd be people, that were stockbrokers or lawyers and like working in finance, and they would come in. It's like they had a secret life. They'd be desperate gamblers in their lunch break and after work. And you'd see some be sad, like some people, they would be like, I don't know what their budgets were, but they were obviously losing more than they were winning. And if they were winning, they weren't leaving until they had nothing. And it's like, these people have families at home. Like, it just didn't sit well. And I just was I didn't, on the weekends, I wouldn't want to go out. And, because I just see people out and I'm like, are they real? Like, they all look happy. Like, what dirty secrets do they have? In a way, it just really drew me down. And I've been going to the gym, and I had a personal trainer. She was fantastic, and she encouraged me to start competitive sport. Like, you should, you're training, you should train for something. And I chose powerlifting.
Oh, you did, really?
Well,
so what did training look like back then?
I'd heard about it, and but I'd never been to a competition.
Right.
I think I do that thing that I don't know that much about. But I think you do. And also, I was actually doing a lot of cycling at the time too. Like there was a big ride in Melbourne every year around the bay in a day. So you ride your bike. It's like 200k around Port Phillip Bay from Melbourne down to Sorrento. You catch the ferry across to Queenscliff and then ride back through Geelong back to Melbourne. And there's all different variations of that. And I was training for that and doing some other sort of rides. And I thought Nikki thought I might have said, I'm going to compete in cycling because I have a bike and that's what I've been doing. But no, that's not what I chose. I'm like, I really like squatting. And there's a sport and it's squats. Like, that sounds amazing. So that's how it started.
Wow, okay. So do you remember what year that was?
Yeah, that was 1998.
1998.
Yeah.
You start for powerlifting. Tell us about your first competition.
Oh, it was so funny. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get into powerlifting. I'd never done a deadlift in my life. I then started deadlifting. Like, that's handy. And it's like, this is cool. This is my new favourite thing. I don't like squats anymore because suddenly they're twice as deep as I have been going ever.
Squatting is way more fun when you can squat high.
And bench press, now I'm training on the Olympic bar. Like, I can barely lift this bar. This is terrible. But deadlifts, they're cool. And not too scary. I won't die doing that. Nothing's going to crush me. So I'm like, okay, well, Nikki's like, you should, find out more about it, point you in the right direction. And I rang Robert Wilkes to find out about the powerlifting calendar, and I wanted to come on and watch a competition. And like 3 weeks out from the Melbourne Uni end of year comp, and I'm like, oh, that'd be great. I'll come down and have a look and see what it's all about. And he's like, no. It's very low key. You should just enter the competition, and that's the best way to, really experience it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I've never been to a I'll just enter the competition, of course. What a great idea.
Sure, why not? I've never seen one. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, so that's what I did. And it was a little bit more full on than I had expected because, well, there were 3 referees, there were lights. I just thought it was going to be this casual thing in the gym where you just test yourself out. And it was like a full day lifting schedule. There was only one other woman competing.
Mm-hmm.
And she had come down from Darwin. She was trying to qualify for World Championships the next year, and she wanted to get her qualifying total, and and she did. And so she was the only other female. That comp, it was like a freak show of weird people.
Well, you said Melbourne Uni, right? So I've got a picture in my head of who might have been there, or at least what types of people.
Oh, yeah. So I can't even describe the craziness. Someone vomited in their deadlift on that day. Like this is my first experience. Someone vomited.
I had to wait till my 3rd comp to see vomit.
No, the first one.
First one, wow.
Like lots of stinky people. Mm-hmm. It was a freak show. But it was the first time I didn't actually meet them, but Steve and Mary Giffen was there. So it was Steve Giffen's first competition living in Melbourne. They just moved to Melbourne.
Okay, because he'd lived in Sydney before that. Is that right?
Yeah, they'd come down from Sydney.
Yeah.
So, and Mary was coaching him, and I just thought I was just, worried about me and doing my thing, and all of this craziness is happening around me, but it just stood out. Mary was wearing platform shoes while she was coaching Steve.
Did Steve have hair back then?
No. But I just remember, like, I didn't lift, I didn't have a belt or knee wraps or anything. It was raw for me. But then to go for, I'll do this cool sport where you do squats. And then there's it's all equipped, and there's crazy knee wrapping happening, and I should have really just run for the hills. And and I'm like, this is for me. I found my thing.
Wow.
I found my thing. And then I started training, a proper cycle. For, that was my first comp.
Wow. So you just had a soft suit, no knee wraps.
No, not even a soft suit. So
not even a soft suit.
I just had like my training shorts and the t-shirt, and they let me lift in that because obviously there weren't many women doing the sport, and you didn't want to sort of scare her away.
We've got one. Keep her.
One. She's going to pay. She's going to sign up.
Oh wow! So that was 98. When did you start putting on knee wraps and squat suits? And because I got to admit, I had a memory of you the other day. You used to wear ridiculously tight suits when I met you, and I remember this because on more than one occasion, I picked you up by your deadlift suit straps, and you were just hanging in the air, feet about a foot off the ground. They're just dangling about. And I'm just jiggling you into this suit. It was hilarious. I'd never met anybody that wore equipment that tight before.
Oh, that was that was the thing.
Yeah.
That was what I was told, that get this size, that's what you're wearing.
Yep.
So, I think when I met you, I was then training with Southern Powerlifting Club, so with Steve and Mary then. So I trained with Melbourne Uni for a long time, and I went overseas, and when I came back, I I'm like, I can't go back there. It's very toxic.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, we'll leave it at that. At the time, and so I'm like, I've got to find a new tribe, and yeah, that's when the real fun started.
And so that was Southern Powerlifting Club.
Yeah.
When you started, who was at Southern when you started? So it would have been, so obviously Steve and Mary, they started it, right? And then yourself, I'm guessing Yoji back then?
Yeah, Yoji.
Yes.
Yep, Yoji.
Constable Care, Tim Gamanches.
Yeah,
Jumanji.
But Tim.
Do you know how he got? Do you know how he got the nickname Jumanji?
No.
All right, so me and Pritchard called him Jumanji for a long time before we actually told him we called him Jumanji, because I think I met most of you guys 2007 in Brisbane at Nationals. Tim was handling for Stephen, and I had Peter Koika handling for me. And Pete, even though he was an angry little ranger, he was really calm, really, really chilled out. And he had a mate, I think his name was Nick. And so we were all relaxed and very methodical the way we went about stuff. And obviously Stephen Pritchard being equally relaxed and methodical, a very low-key guy, I would have expected him to be behaving the same way. But Tim, back in those days, he just ran everywhere. He was so scattered and all over the place. And so we said, yeah, it's like Jumanji. It's just, you open the box and all the rhinos start running around and you have weird things happen and you just have this crazy guy running everywhere. That's why we called him Jumanji. But now actually, now I think that, it's a genuine fun nickname because, he can take it wherever he wants now.
Yeah, so Stephen Pritchard was training at Southern when I started as well.
Right. Yep.
Before they branched out, and that was sort of the main. There were quite a few people that came and went over the years, but then started becoming more of a girls' club. The boys all retired.
Yep.
Injured,
and
whatever.
So the girls' club was yourself and Mary.
Yeah, and then Jen Wilcox. And I can't remember everyone over the years. Like Vicky
O'Brien. Yes.
Oh, hello. My brain.
Katrina.
Yep, and then and then Jasmine Hicks started training with us.
Oh yeah. Oh, she was a great lifter.
She still is.
Where does she lift now? Like, so she must be Masters 1, right?
Yeah. So, and then Katrina was her PT client. So, and that's how Katrina got into lifting as well.
And, there you go.
Yeah, so there's been, different people over the years, but at the moment it's myself and Mary and Katrina and Jazz and Joanna Birch as well.
Okay, yep.
And then we've got a few others as well who sort of come and go.
At your peak, like when you were living and breathing powerlifting and performing at a really high level, what would you say was your greatest achievement?
I had a fantastic equipped comp in Newcastle, and it was like a dream comp. Everything just went so well. I still came second to Jeanette Jeevers.
Well, it's Jeanette. You're in the wrong weight class.
Don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny, like that day, everything was just going so well for me. And Jeanette almost bombed. I think it was on deadlift. And I'm like, no. Like, I do not want to win by Jeanette bombing. Like, if I beat Jeanette, I want to beat Jeanette. And that never happened, but it's like, I don't want this. Like, I won't want it. But yeah, that day I got all my lifts all my lifts, and it was like I was just in flow, like everything. It seemed effortless, you know. You sort of I did my squat and got to the top, and I'm like, hey, how did I do that? I need to remember how to do that again.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what happened. And Mary she was handling me as well. So, and my knee wraps were super tight. And that was, it was just a great day of lifting. So, yeah, it's like nothing amazing. It was just in Newcastle, but just that feeling was like, yeah, that was good.
Do you remember what comp that was?
It was nationals. Yeah.
Oh, was that 2008?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I do. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that now. That was at the really flash hotel that we'll never invited back to. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that is the banquet where you bench pressed me.
I think I bench pressed you at a couple of banquets in the end. I think I bench pressed a lot of people at a lot of banquets.
Yeah.
I do.
That will sound very weird for some people listening to this.
There's an old chaplain friend of mine, Dave Cunniff, that I hope he listens every now and then, and some of our friends that we have in common, I'm sure we'll send this part to him. But I used to bench press David at chaplain conferences. Like I would lie down on the floor or on a table, and I'd pick him up and just start benching him. This is a light entertainment. But yeah, it could have been. I know that there was a lot of vodka flowing that night. That was the first time I won nationals, and Steve and I drank a lot of vodka and smoked a cigar outside. That's what I remember of it. That's what I remember about Newcastle and Ryan Mitchell going up a weight class. Do you remember Buff?
Yeah. He trained at Southern as well. When I started, he was there.
Yeah, so we had Buff made the decision to move up a weight class because it was his best chance of winning nationals that way. And so we devised a strategy of liter after liter of Gatorade for a couple of days to bloat him and put his weight up to what it needed to be. And now him and Paulie were staying at a hotel a couple of kilometers away and were walking over the morning for weigh-in. I was told that Buff got halfway, had been chugging so much milk and Gatorade and whatever, just trying to get his weight up, that he vomited it all out. He'd just taken too much. Paul Tesorio, empathetic, lovely, beautiful man, looks at him and he goes, "You know you're going to have to drink that again, right?" No sympathy at all. He just said, "Just keep drinking." So, but to his credit, Buff made weight and he won nationals that year, and that goes down in the record books as the national champion. Was 2008 was Ryan Mitchell. So, but getting him to the weigh-in was fun. That was a real fun day.
Powerlifters are weird.
Totally.
Never say never. Haven't competed since COVID, but I don't imagine that I've finished. I think I'll go back. Even if I'm over 70, there'll be a day. But, the trauma that I've been through in the sauna trying to make weight. It's like, Jesus. What was all that about?
The other direction, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like how much weight did you used to have to sauna off normally?
It would just be a kilo, but after already being depleted. Right. And it doesn't sound like much, but I would just get to a point in the sauna and I would just stop sweating. Like they would
wow.
Just stop sweating. I'd just be hot.
I'm pretty sure that's called a heat stroke.
Yes. Yeah. So that would happen. Saunering in Finland at Raw World. Mary was helping me and I was in the sauna and I actually started crying because I couldn't believe this was happening again. Why am I here again? Like this is like a recurring nightmare. But then it's like, oh, good, I'm crying. Like that's
I'm getting the fluids out. This is.
And Mary just patting me on the back. There, you'll be okay. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, to like now that now I'm just like, if I compete again, I'm competing as I am. I'm not doing like whatever weight I am. That's my division. I'll try and stay in a division, and that's it. Like there's no stress about that. Just be strong. Focus on being strong. Don't focus on being tiny.
I think that's a really good advice for lifters at every level. I've been talking to Ben Wright is over in Paris for the Paralympics at the moment. He lifts on Saturday. I think it's like 12:30 Perth time, so middle of the day. And Ben for forever like shift his weight up and down to try to manipulate his placings. He hired me as his coach for once he got the wildcard spot, and so we only got to work together for like 5 weeks before he went away. But we made the choice that from now on, forever, he's just going to lift at the one weight class. And so this prep going to Paris means he's been able to eat croissants every day. He's enjoyed everything. It's absolutely stress-free being able to eat and not have to worry about finding a sauna in the 4 or 5 days before a competition. And he's noticing the huge difference it's making to everything that he does.
In 2004, I went to Equipped Worlds in the open lifter, and that wasn't my best day on the platform because I bombed, but obviously clueless at the time back then because we'd arrived in Paris and I was eating croissants, you know. I was eating them, and then I had to do the sauna. It's like, why? Why did you eat? Why? But like, hey, you're in Paris for the first time in your life. You've got to eat something,
right? That's still the greatest thing about being a super heavyweight is never having to worry about saunaing or what we're eating. I imagine powerlifting is a very different experience for people that are making weight. Like I want to empathize, but then I go, it's your choice. You could eat up. You could come and join us.
It's only this year, in the last few months, that I've actually started going to the sauna for recovery and relaxation.
Right.
It's traumatized me so much. And I'm like, no.
This is not a fun thing.
Sauna? No, why would you want to do that? That's crazy. Don't do that. No, I just go in there with my bottle of water. I'm like, oh, this is nice. So relaxed.
Oh my goodness. If you're looking back over, I don't want to say your powerlifting career's over, but looking back at what you've done since 1998, for what do you feel most grateful?
I think we've discussed this before. We were working together last year, but definitely my friendships. Like I got to meet lots of cool people and do cool things and travel and have some absolutely funny experiences. But like my friendship group that I have now, they are like, they're my family, and I would never have met them without lifting. So, or maybe we would have in a different way. Maybe we were meant to be friends, but yeah, my friend Robin Gleason, like I was her nemesis,
You mean Robin Capel?
I can't. Yes, that's who I mean.
That's who you mean, Robin Capel. Yeah.
I can't get used to people's married names. I just can't. Sorry, Robin. Sorry, Rick. Sorry.
I had a friend that I forgot to change her name in my phone for 10 years after she was married, and I'm one of the worst friends. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to remember people change their names through their life, and I need to keep up. So you and Robin Capel, Gleason, you're in the same weight class. You used to compete against each other a lot.
Yeah. She never beat me.
Is that why you like her?
Yeah.
Is that why you're friends?
I know she's listening. She never beat me. She did out deadlift me though, and years ago we had a wager on our deadlift. So whoever got to 150 first won a bottle of wine. So she
what
did
sort of wine did
her
you buy
very
her?
beautiful bottle of wine.
There you go.
But her total, she never beat me.
Right.
For a third time.
What do you value most in a friendship?
Just being able to be vulnerable and be your true self. And especially as you get older, lots of things happen in life. When you're young, you're sort of a little bit more closed, or maybe more, I don't want to say selfish, but there's a definite sort of moving towards thinking about yourself and being a bit more egocentric. Whereas as you get older, I think you just become more compassionate and open-hearted towards everyone and the world. But then I feel like you have a different level of friendship. Like, I know that my friends, they've really got my back, and I've definitely got theirs. There's not much people could go through that you wouldn't be there. You just be there for them, If someone had done, made a mistake in life and done something, wrong, bad, they're still going to be my friends. You have an understanding that people are human and they, make mistakes, but, nothing's black and white anymore. Nothing's good or bad. Everything's in between, and just having that, genuine connection is what I value. I don't have time for the fake friends or people who just want something. It's whatever, I'm happy to have I love having a chat. I'll chat to strangers at the cafe. I'll chat to people walking down the street, and that's part of life. But yeah, just having a true connection with people and feeling that feeling of belonging, like you've got a place.
So how important was powerlifting for you to be able to develop those friendships and know that you belonged?
Well, considering, my main, I think I just met my friends at the right time. I met a lot of people who aren't my friends too, but yeah, well, we won't list them. But anyway, and it's just
maybe when I stop recording, we can talk about a couple of those. I know at least two of the people on my list like to sue people, so I'm not going to mention their names ever.
But yeah, I think so powerlifting, it's been a big part of my life, and then my work, as a trainer is really an extension of that. Sort of, it's all one and the same. I'm the same person. I've trained. I've never counted the number of clients that I've had. I started personal training in 1999, there'd be hundreds and hundreds of people. But over the years, and some of those people are my closest friends, and they're not training with me anymore, but they're dear, dear close friends, and they'll always be in my life. So it's not that, you just find people in your life that, I think they're meant to be in your life. And and that's been through, working and lifting.
What's your most treasured memory? Let's see if we make it powerlifting related. What's your greatest powerlifting memory?
The one, it'll seem really funny, but it was more of a feeling, and it was in the early days. So, I had a belt and wraps, so I wasn't wearing a lifting suit. And it was the first time I squatted 100 kilos. And I hadn't chosen the weight. The weight had been chosen for me. And I was scared beforehand. I'm like, oh my God, this seems like this is a big thing. I've been lifting for that long. And it was the feeling, the actual feeling afterwards that I had done it. And it was something that I wouldn't have done on my own. And it's like I still have a strong memory of how I felt on that day. And it was just like exhilaration.
Can you describe that exhilaration? Like what? It's a hard one to quantify, isn't it? I'm trying to for the people that listen to this that don't lift. There's something you get from that, and I think everybody I've ever spoken to in lifting has one of those moments where you kind of get that. It's like that little bit of electricity. It's almost like vision, isn't it?
And it was like so joyful, and it was all, and it had happened at an end of year comp at Melbourne Uni, and it was so joyful. I actually afterwards, and the knee wraps were coming off, I actually had tears in my eyes because it was so much joy and at the same time like such a release as well, because there's a lot of pressure when you're lifting, like, there's that pressure of the weight, but there's the pressure of performance and expectation, and it was this release and joy at the same time. And I just remember, I was like, I don't cry in front of everyone, like, don't be ridiculous, just like, okay, pull yourself together.
Lock it back down. Lock it down.
Like, there's not many women doing this sport. You can't be crying.
That reminds me of the Tom Hanks line in A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, it was just so joyful. And it was this, and then I'm like, hey, I did that. Like, I wonder what else I could do. I wonder where my limit is. Yeah.
Do you think have you found your limit?
I don't know. Part of me thinks yes. Part of me is like, there would have been more potential, but now I'm like, ooh, what can the body do? Older. Who knows? Like, who knows? There's a fun way to find out.
And probably there's what is it? Let's ask this one then. Let's put this question on the back of it. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time that you haven't done?
No. I was thinking about this question when I looked through. I don't know, like, I've got some like dreams of traveling to places
Mm-hmm.
But like deep down, like if I didn't do it, it wouldn't make that much difference to my life.
Yeah.
So like there's things I'd like to do and things that would be nice. I have a little fantasy at the moment about winning Powerball and taking all my friends to France, and we just sort of travel around and eat. That's the thing. We do the Atlantic coast and just move around and eat from village to village. But like if it didn't happen, like I still have my friends. I can still go buy some cheese.
There you go.
I'm pretty easily satisfied.
I'll back it up with this one then. If you knew in 1 year that you would die suddenly, would you change anything at all about the way you're living now? More wine and cheese? I don't know.
No, maybe not. It doesn't sit well with me, actually. I like it, but it doesn't like me. So I really love my work and I love training my clients, but yeah, if I only had a year, I probably wouldn't set my alarm for 5 to 5 in the morning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. I don't think I'd give up work altogether, but I'm like, hey guys, we've got a year left. We're changing times.
Yeah.
You got to work with me. We're changing times. And maybe we'll just do once a week. Got to transition you over to a new trainer.
There you go. So practical.
But yeah, not that much would actually change. I might travel more, but maybe not. Like I'm pretty happy. I love where I live. I love my dog. Probably
would you say you're pretty contented in life right about now?
Yeah.
How long would you say it took you to get to that feeling of being content with where you're at? And I'll preface this one. I'll give you a bit of thinking time. This is probably more for the people I know in their 20s or their 30s even, maybe even early 40s, where they're still in that phase of discontent, that they're not happy with what's going on. They feel like they should be doing more, or there's, because like we said before, there's always more we could do, and I think you articulated it beautifully when you said, I could go to the Amalfi Coast, I could do all these things, but if they don't happen, I'm okay. How do you get to that point of being okay? Because I think every 35-year-old out there is going, I'm not sure I can be okay with not getting everything done.
No, I reckon it was probably 50. So, yeah, I'll be 54 soon. So I've had almost 4 years of not giving any Fs. I guess even in my business before, so I turned 50 in 2020, so it was in COVID lockdown, which was pretty intense here in Victoria. So there was no party, there was, all my clients had gone. But before that, I had freedom because I was working for myself. I had my own business. But I felt like there were a lot of, I should be doing this and I should be busy. Being busy is good. It's like a sign of success. The more money you earn, that's obviously better. Whereas then it could have just been a sort of change of thought process from having to stop during lockdown because I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything. So that sort of part of my identity had been taken away. Or it might have just been turning 50, but then it was like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I don't have to be busy. I know, like, I'm doing what I want to do and my clients are happy. I'm earning enough money. I have a home. I have food. I have my partner, I have my dog. Like, what else is there in what matters? It's like, can earn more money, but it's like, it's not going to be happier. It's going to be busier. Like, yeah, so I think it was when I was 50.
Right.
And
It
now
really
I look
sounds
back
a
and I'm
lot.
like, oh God, just do what you want to do. Everyone do what you want to do. Don't wait.
It sounds like the advice that you'd give your high school self, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just stop caring so much. Most of this doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So find out what really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be weird. Don't worry about it.
So let's see if we can finish up on this one then. If you had to encapsulate all of that to give advice to your 16-year-old self, what do you want your 16-year-old self to know?
Just do what makes you happy. Consider other people, but it's not the be all and end all. You can never make everyone happy, but you can work on yourself. So don't worry about the outside world. If you work on being a good person, knowing your values and making choices based on your values, then you're not going to go wrong. You'll live a happy life. You won't hurt other people, and you'll have some fun.
And make some really good friends along the way.
Yeah. Sounds a bit like Yoda.
It does, doesn't it? It kind of makes you wonder, why do we spend so much time caring about all of these things that we're told for, in literature and in philosophy and religion for centuries? Like, don't worry about these things. They just don't matter that much.
Yeah.
But we spend most of our lives thinking that's the important bit.
Yeah. All of these things, like some people identify through like status, or others will identify success through knowledge. It's like, well, you can learn if learning's fun to you, learning like conceptual knowledge is fun, then that's great. That's what you do. It lights you up and gives you some purpose. Like, that's great. But in the end, it doesn't change who you are. You're still the same person. So just, do what you like. Do what lights you up.
There you go.